It's day 5 of our 2023 New Year's Challenge. Hey friends, it's Kate here. Thanks so much for joining me for class today. Now, we are on the last day of our first week in this fabulous New Year's Challenge. If you want to, you can go back and start from the beginning, but know that you can begin at any point, and every single class is standalone. You can come back and repeat as much as whatever makes you happy. Now, today I've got a lovely yoga class to end our week. This is a nice flow-based class. We're going to start with a ladder flow. If that's a new term to you, you'll quickly figure it out once class starts. I know some of my regulars really enjoy that style. We then end with some lovely stretching for our hips. Now, I do use one block and a yoga strap right at the end of this class. If you don't have those things, you can 100% skip them. It's no big deal. If you happen to have a TheraBand instead of a yoga strap or like a belt to use, that's great. But again, we really don't need the props to accomplish the whole class. As a reminder, this week's theme has been I give myself permission to love my body, and I hope that that has resonated well with you, and I can't wait to hear about how much we've been appreciating our bodies. Let me know in the comments below how the challenge is going for you. Roll out your mat, let's get started. We'll start near the front of our mat with our fingertips dangling. Close your eyes to check in with how you're feeling. How has the week gone so far for you? How are you feeling in your body today? Is there something that's maybe a little sore? Is there a place you know you need to pay more attention to? No right or wrong, just a moment to check in. Guide your ears up a little higher, open up across the chest. Take a big inhale, swimming the hands high, maybe look to the sky as you do so. Exhale, flip the palms, press them down to the ground. Inhale again, big breath, gaze goes up. Exhale, flip the palm, press the hands down. One more time, inhale, lift all the way up and pause. Grow an inch or two taller. Wrap the tummy in, squeeze your thigh-butt connection point. Catch your left wrist, pull it up to the sky and a little stretch to your right. Release. Catch your opposite wrist, pull it up, little stretch to the left. Let it go. Flip the palms down to the ground. Again, inhale, swim the hands high and pause. Hold on to your left wrist, pull it up. Side stretch. Grab your right wrist, pull it up. Side stretch. Let it go. Flip the palms, push them down to the ground. Go ahead and keep your feet about hip distance apart. Sit back in a little chair pose. Navel in, chest open. Take a big deep breath. Stand tall. Inhale, hands lift high. Grab your left wrist, pull it up, side stretch. Grab your right wrist, pull it up, side stretch. Flip the palms down. Once more, sit in your chair pose. Navel in, chest open, take a breath. This time forward fold. If you need a block or two, grab it. If you need to bend the knees deeper, that's awesome. Maybe a little sway of the hips side to side. Maybe a nod of the head. Bend your knees, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Inhale, hands up. Take your side stretch to the right. Take your side stretch to the left. Let it go. Sit back in your chair pose. Belly button in, chest open. Take a breath. Forward fold again. Once more, knees can be bent or straight, but do bring your hands to your shins. Inhale 3 times, push your head away. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push your head away. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, away. Forward fold, pause. Roll yourself up to standing. Big inhale, both hands up high. Side stretch to the right. Let it go, side stretch to the left. Let it go. Take a moment and then sit back in your chair. Full big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin, half lift. Here comes the different part. Pause, bend your knees, touch your hands to the floor, and can we step our left foot behind us in a nice big lunge? Take a moment to arrive right here. Maybe shift your hips right and left. Maybe rock the weight forward and back. Hold there for a moment. Take a full big breath. Bend your back knee and hop both feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the floor, step your right foot back. Find your lunge on the other side. And again, we can pause right here, maybe shifting the hips side to side, rocking the weight forward and back. And then bend your knee, bring both feet together. One more time, inhale, half lift. Let it go. Bend the knees, roll yourself up. Both hands lift to the sky. Side stretch to the right. Side stretch to the left. Drop that down. Sit back in your chair pose. Belly button in, spine long and straight. Forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, half lift. Bend the knees, plant your hands to the floor. Again, step your left foot back. Hold. A little different than our first time. We can stay right here. If this is all we need, we could use a block if we need an extra helping hand. But can we keep our left hand on the floor, right hand to thigh, little twist to your right. Maybe reaching your right hand to the sky. Think about pulling your belly button away from the top of your thigh, extending your fingertips up. Great big breath. Drop the hand down. Bend your back knee, hop your feet together. Hands to shins, inhale, half lift. Let it go. Bend the knees, step your opposite foot back. For me, that's my right. If you did the other side, no big deal. And again, we might sway or move a little as you settle. Left hand to left thigh to begin your twist. Maybe reach your hand up to the sky. Send the fingertips up as high as you can. It's almost like you're trying to lift your right palm away from the mat. Let it return. Bend the back knee, hop the feet together. Inhale, half lift. Let it go. Bend the knees, roll yourself up. Both hands high. Side stretch right. Side stretch left. Flip the palms, press them down. Sit back in your chair. Belly button in. Full big inhale. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Bend the knees. Again, step your left foot back behind you. Arrive in your lunge. Like we did before, lift your right hand high for a twist, or keep your right hand on your thigh if you need that support. Nothing wrong with that. Set the hand down. This time, can we drop our back knee down to the ground? Now I untuck my toes and press my foot into the top of the floor to remove pressure from my knee. I often like to take a little sway side to side. And now this time with our knee touching the floor and my pelvis reaching towards my front heel, I'm again going to take my twist, reaching my hand up to the sky. Send the fingertips up as high as you possibly can. Set the hand back down on the floor. Tuck the toes, lift the knee, hop both feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Take your right foot or opposite foot back behind you. Right hand stays planted as we lift our left hand up. Hand to the floor. Drop the back knee if we so choose. And again, untuck the toe. That's what feels best for me. You can always modify. You can take a little sway. And the more I think about reaching my pelvis, my pubic bone closer towards my front heel, the bigger of a stretch I feel through my hip. Hand to the floor. Take your twist right here. Keep extending your fingertips up, trying to stack the shoulders one on top of the other. Hand returns to the mat. Tuck the toe, lift, big inhale. hop both feet together. Bend your knees, hands to shins, inhale, half lift. Drop it down. Roll up to standing. Inhale, lift. Side stretch right. Side stretch left. Sit back in your chair. We've got one little more flow here. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Drop it down. Plant the hands on the floor. Step your left foot back for your lunge. Take your first twist, reaching your hand high. Drop it down. Set the back knee on the floor. And then your twist again right here, trying to push the pubic bone closer towards your front heel. Now this time I want you to circle the hand inside your leg and heel toe the foot about as wide as the mat. We're in a lizard pose. For me, the more I push my pubic bone forward again here, the bigger of a stretch I feel. It feels particularly nice to take a little sway of my hips right and left. I almost hug my knee into my arm and push my arm back into my knee so I can feel my inner thigh engaging. Now sometimes, depending on your hips, it can feel particularly nice to actively flex your right foot and externally rotate the leg. Not everyone's going to be able to do that, and there is nothing wrong with us if we can't. If you happen to have very open hips like me, this might feel particularly nice. Plant the foot back onto the floor. Lift your knee up. Take a big inhale and hop both feet up. We'll have to heel toe our right foot back so it's underneath our hip. Hands to shins, inhale, half lift. Forward fold, step your right foot back. Find the beginning of your lunge. And like we did, we'll start with our first twist. Left hand lifts. Drop it down. Send your knee to the ground. Pause. And another twist. Reaching your fingertips up, stacking the shoulders. And then when you're ready, circle the arm inside your left leg. Heel toe the foot open and start to find your lizard pose on this side. Maybe we notice something feels a little different, maybe a little unique from our other side. Maybe we need time to acclimate and kind of sink into this pose. It's okay. Like I did on the other side, if you want, you might try flexing your foot and externally rotating the leg. We might notice one side had a lot more range of motion. That's a-okay. Big inhale. Big breath out. Plant the foot back onto the floor, tuck the toe, lift your knee, and again, hop both feet up. Now a little bit different. This time I'm going to have both my feet about as wide as the mat and really actively let my head fall to the ground. Maybe catch your elbows and allow yourself to dangle. If it feels better to have softly bent knees so you can really round to the back, that's wonderful. If it feels better to straighten the legs, that is awesome too. No matter what your legs are doing, do take a little ragdoll of your body right and left. Release. Heel toe the feet back underneath your hips. Bend your knees and slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Now the lovely little ladder flow portion, we're finished with that. So we'll take a seat on our mat. And in fact, if you have a block, you might place the block behind you and sit right on top of it. I'm going to extend my feet about as wide as the mat and actively flex my feet. I almost sit near the front edge of the mat, the block, so I can very lightly, not quite arch my back, but it's a little easier to sit right up on top of my sitting bones and keep my spine so long and straight. Try to actively flex both feet. Lift your hands high over your head. Grow an inch or two taller. From here, I want you to drop your right hand down to the ground. It may or may not touch depending on if you have a block and the length of your own arms. But grow an inch taller at your left side and then start to lean to your right. I press my left sitting bone deeper into the block or the ground as I fan open my left ribs. Did your right shoulder rise up to your ears? Can you push it down? opening up that side body. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, I want you to forward fold over an imaginary beach ball. So this is not about shoving my head close to the ground. Instead, it's really about rounding my back, opening up my shoulders, letting my head kind of dangle. Slide your hands up to your thighs. Stack the vertebra one on top of the other. Both hands, again, lift up high, grow an inch or two taller. This time, our left hand down, right hand high. Start to lean over. Friends, if you are new here, I am terrible about rights and lefts. If you're on the wrong side, half the time I am too. It's okay. We're all human. Really press your opposite side sitting bone. So for me, that's my right sitting bone down. So I can stabilize there and open up through my opposite body. Big inhale. Exhale, big forward fold over your imaginary beach ball. Roll yourself up to a nice tall seat. Let's actually walk our feet together. If there's some separation there, it's okay. Legs are parallel, toes are still flexed. Lift up and out of the waist if you can, navel in. Again, both hands lift high. Take a big inhale. Can you twist to your right? Right hand goes back, left hand goes forward. Imagine there's a wall here. You're almost hugging the wall so you can open up across your chest and maybe point your nose back behind you. Unravel. Same thing other side. Big twist. Again, it's like there's a wall here. Hug the wall, navel in, perhaps look back behind you. Unravel. Flip the palms, press them down. We're going to lie on our back, and again, if we've got the block, we're going to keep it in place and lay with the block underneath our sacrum. You can look as awkward as I just did. As you arrive on your block, we do not have to look pretty in our classes. Now, I do want to be very mindful that you have the block underneath your sacrum, the bottom of the hips, not the top edge of the hip, and not the low back. It shouldn't feel like you are actively arching the back here. It should feel like your hips are supported and lifted. Hold there for just a moment and give your body permission to relax. Maybe close the eyes. Maybe just take a few big deep breaths. And then extend your right leg away. Now your back might arch a little bit as you do so, and I'm okay if it feels good to you. And then when we're ready, if we have a yoga strap or a TheraBand or any kind of belt, we'll unravel it, place it around our right foot, and lift it to the sky. Now, I'm always very particular that I have whatever is holding up my foot around the ball of my foot and not the arch. It usually cramps up through the foot if I push onto the arch too much. So push the heel to the sky, really allow your shoulders to slide down, navel in, take a big inhale. As you exhale, I want you to slowly circle the leg a little bit, just finding some movement in your ball and socket joint, both directions. And then hold right here, take a big inhale. As you exhale, think about guiding your thigh closer towards your belly button. Forget about your foot. It is obviously coming closer to you. But instead, it's really more about keeping the leg long and straight and bringing the leg a little closer to the body. Take a nice big breath. Let that go. Again, keep the leg long and straight and start to guide it in. You can tuck your tail a little bit. You can soften the shoulders down the back. Just guide your leg in as close as whatever feels good for you. Big inhale. Let it go. Let's do one more, just like that. And if it feels like you're having to hold your breath, maybe make your stretch a little smaller. I promise you, holding your breath is not going to help you gain flexibility. Breathing, oxygen, it's helpful for our bodies. Slowly let that foot go. Before we take it to our other side, hold your band in your left hand. take your right hand to your right hip and a small stretch over to the left. Do you see that my hip has not lifted up? It's just a gentle little stretch over to that side. Allow your leg to fall out of your yoga strap or whatever you're holding on to. And then extend the opposite foot long. And again, if we don't have a block, it's okay. You can skip it. You can just have your leg long on the ground. That's perfectly fine. You just don't get quite the same sort of stretch we get underneath or on the top of your left psoas. When you're ready, go ahead and guide your other foot into your yoga strap or whatever you happen to have. And if you don't have anything at all, just lift the leg up. Like we did on the first side, begin with some easy small circles, both directions. And then pause, big inhale. Exhale, gently begin to guide the leg closer to the body. We might notice one side has more or less flexibility. It's okay. Take a breath, let it go. Again, big inhale. Exhale, begin to guide the leg a little closer to the body. Keep the leg long and straight. Forget about the toes. Instead, really think about drawing the top of your thigh up towards your body. Let it go. One final time, a nice, easy stretch of the leg over. It should not feel like you're having to grit and bear it to be here. Relax your jaw, relax your face. You can smile and let that go. Now, before we get rid of our yoga strap altogether, maybe take both feet into it. And if it feels like you're falling off the block, that's okay, me too. Feet can be totally together, or they can be about hip distance. It's okay no matter what. And then gently guide both legs a little closer to your body. It's like a little supported plow pose. I'm not yanking on my legs as hard as I can. For the most part, this is where they would naturally kind of fall to. When you're ready, release both feet from your yoga strap. Let's move it off to the side and move the block out from underneath us. Allow your hips to settle to the floor. Elongate the legs. Take your hands wherever feels best. Close the eyes. Big inhale through the nose. Easy sigh out the mouth. Again, big inhale. Big breath out. Spend the last few moments of class once more bringing a feeling of pride and appreciation to your body. Maybe reminding yourself of our theme, of our mantra for this week. I give myself permission to love my body. Be proud of everything it accomplished for you this week. Be excited for everything you get to do for it through the remainder of this challenge. And can you hold on to that feeling of appreciation, pride, and celebration for your body for the rest of the day, the rest of this month, each and every day. Begin to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Maybe stretch the hands high overhead. When you feel ready, roll to one side and push yourself up to a seat. As always, my friends, a big pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing such a good job this week, for doing so much for your body. Thank you for joining me for the first week of this challenge. I cannot wait to see you again next week for week 2.